is that? It's too much. I'm going to share the groups later. Don't want to do it now. All right, guys. I wasn't on last week, but I was on Matt Barnes on Thursday. He had somebody drop out and ask me to go up on there. But I have a special guest, and I told you guys I wanted to do this. We've got a special guest coming on tonight. Before he actually says something or chimes in, and we're not doing YouTube either. The one reason why is because on Facebook Live, I can actually add people. I don't know, I haven't tried it with Prism, where I can get YouTube and Facebook on the same channel or the same line as my phone is on. So I didn't want to take that chance and trying to get people to join in. I can do it easier, and I probably have to look it up. I'm gonna wait a little bit. I'm gonna kind of ramble here a little bit too. David Ireland with Short Porch is going to be joining us here in a minute. Guys, if you're not on YouTube, get on YouTube. If you're not on Facebook, which this will go on later. The reason I'm saying that because later on this will go on to YouTube. If you're not on Facebook, get on Facebook, guys. What we're going to do here with Short Porch is a lot of information to a lot of people out there. And when we talk about the movement and what we're talking about, and I talked to Matt Barnes about it a little bit last week, was in a nutshell, he's trying to tell me, try to explain what you guys are doing, and basically what we're doing here. What's up, Derek? Basically what we're doing here is there is different flex and bats, different flex and handles. I was talking to David about it earlier, and there's different flexes that handle with bat speed. Different flex and barrels, flex and handles, weight distribution numbers. There's so much that goes into building a bat. There's so much that goes into you as somebody that wants to buy a Short Porch bat. Need to know before you just throw your hard-earned money. And basically the reason I started doing senior softball bat reviews years ago was because of that, because a lot of seniors out there, don't have $250, $200 to throw around. So their choices need to be right, are pretty close to being right. So that's what we're trying to do here. So these podcasts on Wednesdays is basically explaining to you what Short Porch has coming out. What's up, Clem? What Short Porch has coming out for the future, what they're working on. And I put this video out the other day about the Kevlar bat. Is they want to be as transparent as they can, up to a point where you guys get a lot of information out there. That way you can pick a better Short Porch bat to fit your bat speed, basically. And guys, we just started, man. There is so much that is going to go on. There's going to be miles per hour later on that is posted where we're going to dial it in, per bat that is out there. Short Porch has low bat speed, medium bat speed, and high bat speed. David Ireland will be on here in a minute. We're going to talk about his bat, which is a high bat speed bat. I'm going to try to get David on here. David, go on to the bottom and ask to join. No, there you are. I just sent an invite. He comes on here. And I'll talk about, quit talking to Clem, David. We'll talk about a lot of stuff later. I'm going to try to get him. I'm going to try to get him on here and talk to him a little bit about, it says adding right now. The guest declined, David. And what we want to bring to you guys, and I'm going to kind of fiddle with this and kind of talk because I can do that. What we want to do is get you guys as educated as possible. So whenever you go, and here's the deal too, we're getting a little, not a lot, but a little bit of feedback from people out there that don't believe in it. Like, even here he comes. It's going. You're blank, but it's going. It's split it up. I just can't see your face. It says joining right now.
No.
But it makes that noise, you know what I mean? Where I can hear a little bit, but I just can't see your face. Can you talk?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just can't see your face.
Yeah, no.
It's not dial-up internet. Is that Murray? What's up, Murray? It just says joining, like it's trying to get in, but it split the screen up where you can just see me, but you can't see you. But I guess I can hear you.
Yeah, I mean, we can try unless we want to kick out and try it one more time.
Yeah, kick out and try one more time. You got to kick out. Just end it. And then I'll request it again. Are you at a good spot in your house too? That's another thing, because I've got boosters all around me. So why does it have Murray on there? David, get back on. I think you have to be going. You got to be a viewer first. So when you get on there, I'll be able to grab you. David, let me know when you're on. So this movement that we talked about, this is another thing too. I don't want to seem like a broken record every week, every Wednesday when I get up here and do this. But what's up, guys? What I want to do is, it's a movement of the way of thinking about bats. The way to think about bats is totally different than everybody else has thought about. And this is an idea that we came up with. This is an idea that we want to push. And it's an idea that I think is really good for a lot of the seniors out there. All right, it says adding. We'll see. It says adding. So all you got to do is accept it. But what we're doing is educating. These prototypes that I'll be swinging, that we will be swinging, because basically they're up in Savannah, Georgia on hit tracks, and then they get sent to me. That's another thing too. We get them probably in their second or third phase, because basically when they're in Savannah, they're done on hit tracks, and those are videos that will be put out later on through Jeff and Leslie and Kristen, that will be put out later on it'll be put out later on video. I sent an invite. I'll keep sending them till you can get on. So basically, and it's going to be transparency, guys. This is something that you can get a hold of, and you can look at it. Maybe you can pick a bat out that will actually go with your swinging weight, your weight distribution. Your guest declined. Don't be scared, David. We talked. I'll send another invite. I did. I tried. I'll keep trying it until you can come on. So basically, it'll be going through hit tracks up there. Then it'll be sent then it'll be sent to me, and then we'll get it out on a baseball field or that. We don't, guys. That's another thing too. We don't hit on regular. See, I get them after y'all tear them up, basically. And we get them after they hit them, and then we hit them on baseball fields. We don't hit on softball fields. Very seldom, I think never have we hit on a softball field, a regular softball field, because basically what we have is we have a place. We've been doing this with senior softball bat reviews for a very long time. I don't even see you on here, David. So I'll try. Okay. We on these baseball fields when we do our reviews, and we kind of know we hit, guys. This is another thing too. We just don't jump around on any kind of place to hit. There you are. It doesn't have an ad thing on it now, David. It says I think, Chad, I think that's everybody our age. So what we do is we hit on baseball fields, and we've hit a lot of bats, not just seniors, but U-trip bats on these fields that we're hitting on, and we hit them for a long time. So when we grab something that is sent to us from the factory, call it factory, the brainstorm in Savannah, we get it with us and we start swinging it. See, I don't know if I got mine sideways too. I got my phone sideways. So if you might be trying to get in with yours up and down, that might be different. So yeah, like we got that one bat here the other day, and oh shit, okay, I'm gonna add you. It says I can add you now. So when we got that bat, that Kevlar bat, that's the talk of everything. Is that Kevlar bat, and people started see there. Boy, look here, look here. You have to go down in the basement to get on. Is that where that's at?
I don't know.
See,
So how's
your lighting is all messed up too, man. You like you got a dark face on you. See, this is how come I know you're a rookie at this, right? You're like all white, dark light in the back, and your face. There you go. I can see a little bit of you now. But look, you're down in the man cave. It looks like. There you go.
Yeah, Matt. Just trying to get away from everybody for a little bit.
See, that's where like my little room right here. It's in the garage, and it's offset in the garage, and I don't have no air conditioning in here, and it's 95 degrees today outside, and I'm in here, and I'm trying to get everything going real fast. I got a little fan, but I can't turn the fan on because it's too loud. So I'm away from everybody in there. I locked the door because my mother-in-law keeps saying she's going to come in here and just bomb me, right? So I got to keep her out of here. Well, I'm glad you got on, man. It's with our age, this is turned into like a pain with everybody trying to get on and trying to like when I get off of here, I bet I spent an hour trying to share with everybody, because sausage fingers start pushing buttons and I just can't. It's hard for me I can't do that, and plus I'm 64, so I'm not that tech savvy guy that grew up around computers or even phones. So basically what I wanted, we'll talk about the launch, not the launch, but your bats came in today, and we'll talk about that later on. But basically want to talk about you right now, how you got started. I wanted to, not with seniors, we're going to seniors after this, but how you got started just with softball and what got you into it at the beginning.
Well, I was playing a lot of baseball growing up, looking to maybe go to college and so forth. But really, right about my senior year, I started getting burnt out with softball. I meant with baseball, and I got introduced where most people do, church softball. So you start playing a little church softball, and I go, okay, this game's a lot faster than baseball. So, I ended up, I really just flat out fell in love with it, and have pretty much played it my entire life, whether it be baseball or softball since I was 6 years old.
Yeah.
You know, and I've just loved it. It's the one thing that's always been true to me, and it's just fun. It's my escape to reality. I say it's the best sport on the face of this earth, you know, because anybody can play it from any level and they can enjoy themselves. There's a league for everybody.
Definitely. Definitely. I like it because it's people out there that are dealing with problems or issues with work or with social media and stuff like that. It's a place where they can get away and they can relax and don't have to worry about anything that's going on in the country or in the world. And they just have those 1.5 hour leagues or whatever it is, and then tournaments on the weekend. You know, I talked to a lot of people, and they said the most depressing thing about playing ball is that drive home from a tournament, because now you got to get back to working if you do work, you know, and then start, you know, can't wait till the next tournament. That's a lot where we're all right now, where that drive home, you're like, wow, you know, that was fun. Now we get back to reality, you know, but I think it's a good release for a lot of seniors out there where they can get their mental thought back to reality on where it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I agree 100%.
How long you been playing?
I've basically been playing softball since I was 16 years old. I never went like up where like a lot of my friends here in the Jacksonville area, when they went up, I pretty much just stayed back. I had already had a whole family. I had children. I just stayed around local. We had a group of guys that were fairly good, and we just all played together for a good 20 years. I mean, I'm assuming, have you ever heard of Kenny Cabilco?
Yeah. Name.
Yeah, see, I played most of my life with Kenny, but Kenny's also played the big ball also.
Did you play any big ball? What's the highest you got playing
The
ball?
highest I was ever ranked was B. Um, we predominantly played a lot of C in this area, out of Jacksonville, Orlando, South Georgia, Tampa areas, you know, so that it's still to this day, it's D, D, E, E, D, and C right
Yeah,
now.
you know,
Uh,
C isn't like it used to be back in the day either.
no, when I was
It's
young,
not.
it was huge.
Yes, it was huge.
You'd
I mean,
have
I remember
150
going.
teams at a tournament.
Yeah, Bruce Meade tournament in Arizona one year in C was like had 110 teams,
Yeah,
and it was like a 3 day, and they were playing round the clock. You know, I
yes,
remember
sir.
playing 9 games that weekend. You know, and playing out there and taking. We were in the top two. I think Bullies was in that tournament too, out of Arizona, but it's not nowhere close. You know, C is nowhere close to what it was back in the 80s and 90s, or actually I could say 90s and, you know, late 90s is what we were when we were in there. But what about senior ball? What got you into starting to do senior ball?
I took a couple years off because of work and everything. I was working for the railroad, so you know they work weekends and everything. So took a few years off. Ended up getting furloughed. Ran into a good buddy of mine, Derek Lavelle, which he runs the Florida. He helps run the Florida Half Century down in Orlando area, and I ran into him in Home Depot, and he asked me, you know, if I wanted to maybe start playing with them guys. And I really, at the moment, I wasn't interested. And then he goes, you know, it's all you can hit. You know, there's no home run limit. And I said, okay, so you're telling me I can hit one out, I can hit a solo, and I'm not going to get in trouble. And he went, yep, you can hit all you want. So I gave it a try, went back out. Played with them, enjoyed it, found the love again. You know, at our age today, even with our arguing, it's very minimal and it's minor. It's, you know, we'll argue for a quick minute, then we get back to playing. That was one of the reasons why I pretty much had gave up softball, because I was just tired of all the crying and whining. Here I was, a 40-something-year-old man still playing with 20-year-old kids, running around out there with them, but I just got tired of all the complaining, whining, crying, and wanting to fight every time they turned around.
Yeah, and you don't see that too much in senior softball either. It is out there, but you don't see as much. That was my last game that I played is 2001, and the same thing. I just got tired of the yelling, threatening umpires, threatening to kill them, and it's just threatening other people. And it got really bad where I was like the boom boxes in the dugout and loud, and I was like, I don't want to do this no more because that's not the way I grew up playing softball. And I had retired for 10 years, and then I heard about what got me attracted to senior ball was the bats. Like everybody was telling me about how good the bats were. And I
Oh,
was like,
yes.
I was older and torn down. And I was like, I got to swing these bats. And once I got invited out to swing the bats, I was like, okay, I got to get out and do this. And my first tournament back, it was awesome. Everybody meeting, everybody talking, there was no bad stuff said. There was no threatening. Everybody got along, and that's what I liked. I like the brotherhood of senior softball, basically.
No, I agree. It's a blast. Run into friends I hadn't seen in 15, 20 years. And it's like you've been friends all along.
Yeah.
You've talked to them all the time, and you hadn't seen them for years. So that's pretty fun, and I've enjoyed it. It's different. It's just it's exciting. I enjoy playing. I love it. I can't get enough of it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's the part about where I miss, where like we're gonna hit in the morning, and I it's like, okay, 64 years old, and I got a bat delivery today. I was so excited, because my wife yelled at me, "You got bats!" And I'm running downstairs. I'm seeing which bats they were, which it was the U-Trip bats, and then a couple other bats that were in there. It was a couple of U-Trip bats, and then Clem on the hangman got this in the day. Let Clem beat that thing around. It's a 28 ounce. And but I'm like a kid in the candy store. I mean, when I was doing senior softball bat reviews, I did get excited, but I like new tech. I like new things. I like new thinking. So whenever I get something, especially with that Kevlar bat that came in, I was so excited. I was like, I had it with me the whole time. I was doing weight distribution numbers on it, compression testing after every 100 swings, just stuff like that, because of the tech that these. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. But what got you in with Short Porch? How did you come about? Because you got to remember, I'm new to this, and a lot of people that have come over to the movement are kind of new in this too. So I want to know where David Ireland came from, or how you got affiliated with Short Porch.
Well, I've got a few friends that are fairly well known in the game today, and one of them, which is name's Johnny Dykes, had been talking to me for a little while through the Florida Half Century. He just kept telling me, David, it's time to move up. David, it's time to move up. It's time to come on up and play ball, and let's play the big time ball at the senior age. So, I started talking to him about it, and he had been kind of talking to two different bat manufacturers, one extremely big and one extremely small. At that
Yeah.
time, was just getting foot in the door. And so through me and his conversations over a period of time, I basically just asked him one day, I said, why would you go with a big manufacturer that it's going to be hard for you to have the influence for growth, for the company, for yourself, and for everybody? I said, I personally, I I would probably go with the smaller company to be able to help them to the best of your ability, to help them grow, get bigger, get seen, get known, and and just help them grow and blossom into something great.
Yes.
Which I almost thought he was going with the big manufacturer, and then he calls me up one day and says, "Hey man, I've got a couple bats. It's Short Porch." Mentioned Jeff Kessler at the time, and so he said, "Hey, I've got a couple bats. Come on out and let's swing them, let's hit them." And I mean, it was unbelievable. That was the red wig popper. The first time I'd ever seen any of their bats was the red wig popper, and I mean, I can't even explain how much better it was than the other bats that I was swinging at that time.
Yeah.
Um, and then whenever he moved over with them, uh, there was a few of us that kind of more or less come in and went, come in the door with him, met the owners, which was Jeff and Leslie, and to be honest with you, we just fell in love. love the product, believe in the balls, believe in the bats, love them as people. They're good, wholesome hearted people. Christian, I have now played a good bit with Christian. Super dude. Have a lot of fun when he's around, and he plays the game hard, which is another thing I like about them. Hell, I even get to play with Jeff every now and again,
Yeah.
and and his boy Cage. So I mean, just a great bunch of people to be around, and you know, and now it's they gonna have to kick me out the door to get me going.
We talked about this earlier. What about the knowledge? See, that's whenever I'm gonna say something here. That's whenever that's it was almost like you had me at hello. Right when they started talking and they started spewing out facts about bats and weight distribution and barrel flex and handle flex and all that stuff, I'm just sitting there just amazed. And tell me about the story about you and Leslie that
Well,
she finally started talking, right?
yeah, me and I would be talking to Jeff every so often, and then I would talk to Christian some, and I mean, you know, it's just guys. We're talking bats, we're talking balls, we're talking the game. Well, one day I walked up to Leslie. I want to say it was the TOC last year. She was sitting in a chair. We were all getting ready for our first game of the tournament. And I walk up to Leslie and I asked Leslie one question. And about an hour later, maybe not quite an hour, but you know what I mean,
Yeah.
because I would I could have never known that she knew what she knew until that conversation her and I had. And I mean, it just blew me away.
It, it, Another thing too is she doesn't talk. You've really got to get her going. You've got to, like, it was at a
Salute.
table. We were eating dinner down here and we're at a table, and Jeff had asked her something about polymers and mixtures and rosins, and she started talking and my jaw just fell to the ground. I was like, oh my, this she knows she knows what she's talking about, and very nice and very, almost shy to the point where, like, you kind of want to, you just, okay, she doesn't know, but when she starts talking, just listen to her talk and you're like, holy, she's good. She knows a lot. She knows her craft. Yeah, she knows her craft, and all of them put together, and that's what got me was all them three talking to me, and I'm like, I'm in heaven. I finally am talking to somebody that is on the same page, where I know what they're talking about exactly, and then we go back and forth, and especially Christian, an hour and a half on the phone on weekends or on weekdays with me and Christian when we're talking, and then Jeff, hour and a half I talk. We have Zoom meetings or whatever, and I'm sitting there talking, and they're talking, and me and Jeff. One thing about me and Jeff, when we're talking, we tend to try to talk over each other. My wife is going, "Let him talk, like let him talk," and but I love that because we're bouncing ideas off of each other. But yeah, I mean, but when you first started swinging, then later on, how do we get into your bat? How do we get into David Ireland wanting to get are them asking you if you wanted to?
Well, and to be honest with you, I'm sure Johnny and Jeff both talking back and forth is probably what led to that. But I happen to have two good tournaments, and they happen to be two big tournaments. I ended the year last year with at the USSSA in Texas World Tournament. When we won that, I ended up was the MVP, and then we started just a couple months later. We started at the TOC, and I had another great tournament that weekend also down in Tampa, and I maybe just some of the consistency, and and I guess it sparked Jeff to want to build me one. He listened to me over the course of the year with the bats that I was swinging, and he went to work. And I'll be honest with you, I couldn't, for someone that had zero to do with it, I couldn't be more satisfied with this bat that if I would have had some input with it. I
So
just, it blew me away.
so basically, he dialed you in. And he
Yeah.
probably watched you swing, and he probably took all of that knowledge, and he's a numbers guy, right? So he's probably
Yes.
crunching numbers and putting them together and dialing in your bat for you. So yeah, that's awesome, because when we talk about different bats for different people, and I know a lot of people won't get on board till later on, and they will get on board because this is the way the future is going to go. We're going to leave. Short Porch is leaving all the other companies behind, and we're going to go do this, and it's going to get big. It's going to get really big because we're dialing in bats, and there's going to be variants of bat speeds. It's just not going to be, let's say, David, your bat speed's 100 miles an hour. It's just not going to be a 100-mile-an-hour bat and here's your bat. No, there's going to be variants to that bat speed that will put that bat in your hands. But what they do, Jeff especially, Jeff is like great at doing this, because I talked to him about a bat, right? We talked about the Wig Popper, the new one that's going to be launched in the next couple, 3 weeks. And he wanted, we both wanted something that had a softer barrel to go into those slower bat speed guys. And he's throwing numbers at me. What is this? What is this? And all of a sudden he goes, okay, we're done. And I go, you're kidding me, right? Because nobody can get there that fast, Jeff. He goes, no, I can. I can get there that fast. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna love this. This is gonna be awesome with me. Because
Yeah.
that's me. I stay up late at nighttime just thinking about different things, or way to better a product, way to weight distribution in different areas of the bat that I think will improve the bat. And he's right on there with me. Dave, I was thinking the same thing. Well, that's awesome. That's what I like. That's what I like when going with Short Porch in the future. Um, we talked about this a little bit earlier too. We talked about workouts, and this is another thing too that I want you to talk about a little bit is workouts, nutrition. What kind of BP do you do? I mean, to get ready for tournaments, or to get ready in the off season, or something that your AAA, your AA guys out there, because basically that is the majority of people out there. Not really the pros or the major plus guys. They don't really, they're already there. People want to know what it took you to get to where you're at today, basically.
To be honest with you, a lot of playing over the years, enough playing and BP. I mean, it's that simple. You have to play enough to get a consistency. Once you get a consistency, then you can see that consistency, and you just keep fine tuning it, and you hit, a couple times a week. You'll play a league game or two a week, and then you may play every other week. You're probably playing some softball somewhere. Now that we're a little older, you still have to hit. I still try to play at least one league, and we tend to have one night double headers. I'll hit one other night during the week, and then I'll do a little bit of tee work here at the house right off of a net. And a lot of people just go up and hit the ball into the net. I do it a little bit different. When I set my net up, and I have the one that has the big hole in the middle that catches all the ball very clean, crisp, and smooth. But I want to see how hard that lets me know like you'd call it exit velocity. So I
Yeah.
don't have no way of determining it. But if I hit a ball into a net and the ball travels 30 feet behind me after it comes off that net, I know the exit velocity on that swing is very good. So that's the things I do. Uh, I was a little fortunate when I was young. You know, my older brother was a lot older than me, so I was kind of raised hypothetically like an only child. So I had to find things for me to do.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you remember this toy, but do you remember the Johnny Bench batter up?
Yes. Yeah.
I had one, and I hit on that thing so much. And then I would, here after I've done hitting, now I got to work with my glove. And here I am young. I'm just bored at the house. So I go out back on a concrete wall, and I take a golf ball with an open pocket glove like an H web. And I'm throwing the golf ball in the backyard, bouncing off the grass, and I have to field it.
Wow.
I have to field the ball and not let the golf ball go between that H web. So you learn good hand-eye coordination, fielding wise. So there's little tricks that you get to do, over your years to find ways to get good at doing things. I used, when we were young, I played 7 days a week. You probably did the same thing too. And then as we got a little bit older, you slowed things down. And, now I just travel, play at one league, hit a couple times a week, do a little tee work, and then travel when our teams are playing.
Nutritional wise, what you eat good? Vitamins, stuff like that.
I do a lot of vitamins and minerals. I probably take as many, close to 20 pills a day. I try to avoid all the doctor stuff. I Back in 2016, I had a heart attack.
Wow.
And I was on about 20 pills, doctor pills, medical pills.
Yeah.
Well, one day I just woke up and threw every single one of them in the garbage and said, I'm taking my life over. I went and fired my heart doctor and went to my common practice doctor. And I told her, I said, you're now my heart doctor. We'll give blood every 3 months. And I'm not taking no more pills. Run my blood work. If my blood work comes back clean, nothing's changed, I'm not going back on anything. What did it do? It came back normal, just like it was at the time I was taking 20 pills.
Yeah.
So I came off all those pills, and this was during that period where I was off for like those 4 years. And, I just got frustrated, said, I can do better. So I started, like I said, I take a lot of minerals, a few vitamins. Obviously, at our age, we're on TRT. I do B12. Anything I can do to keep the levels a little higher than normal, or in those safe numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that I can live a good life as an older person.
See, that's what a lot of people don't understand is to get your quality of life back. And we're not talking about ungodly numbers. We're talking, my doc, I have 4 different doctors. Every one of them agree with my numbers of testosterone being around 800, 850. Yep. They're great with that.
I love 800s when I feel the best.
Yes.
Right around that.
Yes. And then even my cardiologist was sitting there telling me, don't get off of it. Stay on it because
you got a good one there. Yeah. Good for you.
Yeah. A lot of people don't. A lot of people get out there and they want to write them cholesterol medicine or statin drugs or high blood pressure drugs, which only thing, and guys, we're not doctors. We're not telling you to do this stuff. Just check with your doctor. But it could be a simple diet change, where you just start lower your carbs, just do 1 portion of carbs out of 3 other portions of protein. It's just, and your complex carbs stay up with them, but your simple carbs, get rid of them. It's just that simple. Do some fasting every week or every 2 weeks. Start doing your fasting. But hitting, we talked about this earlier too. What a lot of seniors don't understand is they want to get better. You need to hit. You can't go out and not get any better. Like hitting is like a workout. If you just work out once every 2 weeks, you're not going to get stronger. It just doesn't happen. You're not going to get better. So add a little bit more hitting in with that. Stay out there and get your stamina. Hit a lot of balls, not to where you're fatigued, where you're creating bad habits, but just to get out there and just take a lot of swings. Get off the couch. Don't sit there and watch TV or watch the news, especially. Get out. Don't do that. Get out and start walking around and doing things. So that's one of the biggest things that I talk to people about.
Oh yeah, well, you have to get around people you trust, obviously, and ask questions. I was playing in a tournament about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I hit the ball good most of the day, but I kind of went flat in the middle of a game, and I had 2 bad swings. One of the guys walked up to me and says, "Hey man, your top hand's getting lazy." I couldn't see it, I couldn't feel it, but as soon as he said it, I knew exactly what he was talking about. I was able to turn everything back around and get right back on your A game.
Yeah.
And get right back out there and start stinging the ball again.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you're around good people, they can see some of your mistakes, and if you can take constructive criticism well, in other words, if you're just you want to
Yeah.
learn, constantly learn. I don't care who you are. If you see something that I can try and do better, I'll give it a try. The worst thing I'm going to do is say, no, this is not for me. I'm going to go back to me. But I will listen because I don't believe you can ever not get better.
I
I'm working
that's
every single day to get better than I was just a few months ago. And
I
that's,
agree 100%.
I think that's the drive I have is I don't feel like I'm my best yet. And I
Yes.
think there's still way more to give.
Well, you have that hunger. Every year you want to get better at what you're doing, and you try different things to get better. You try different stances, you do hand positions, just little things like that will increase your percentages. Because it's not really your power as much as my age, but basically your percentages. You want to hit at a high percentage during tournaments, hit with a little bit of power, but you hit with high percentages. So you make those little changes as you go on, and I have no problem with somebody, and I've had it in the past. People come up to me, pull me aside, and said, "Okay, this is what you're doing wrong," And I said, "Well, okay, you're right." I videotape all of my games, so if I'm having a bad tournament, we're in Vegas or something, I'll take those games back and I'll go through them, and I'll take every one of my swings and I'll look what I'm doing wrong. So that's
Yeah.
how ate up I am with this, because I do want to do for my team. I want to do good, because it will help them win. So basically, yeah, you're exactly right. Vegas. Um, you'll be in Vegas.
Yes.
Okay, who you gonna be playing with in Vegas?
I'll be in Vegas with Mitchell's playing 55. That's 2 weeks before we go, which then I'll be with the 50 major plus. Mitchell's is 55 major, and then 2 weeks later will be 50 major plus will be FBI, which is fence brokers with Chris Walker.
So you'll be up there. You'll go up there and then come back and go back up there again.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
So will you be at the tent?
Yes, I will do
Okay.
everything I can to find you guys, meet you, hang out, and get to know you a little bit better.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. And other people that actually want to know who you are by the
Absolutely.
tent, because I'm inviting everybody to that tent in Vegas to actually do some talk. And then Phantom Sports too, we will be there, their tent too, because they're going to be up there with us. So they'll have a tent somewhere else too. But we can collab whenever you're going to be and where you're going to be, and then hook up. Maybe do some Facebook Live and YouTube Live up there too, with me and you together in the tent, and just sit there and brainstorm and talk. Let's
Absolutely.
talk. Let's talk about your bat now. Shipment came in today, right?
Yeah, from what I understand, they came in today. I think he's getting some out to me so that I'll be ready for Vegas.
Yeah, definitely. I know Clem. I think he's still on here. Clem ordered 2 of your bats. He really does love it's bat right here, guys. You don't know what I'm talking about. It's a 13-inch barrel. It comes in half ounces. This is a 26.5-ounce bat. 17.2 on the end, 8.6 on the hand. So it's loaded really good. It's for those high bat speed too, on those high bat speed guys. So it's a 13-inch barrel. It's a one-piece bat, guys, and it's called the Brew Town. And but yeah, you know who asked for it too, and Murray Williams, right? He's been hitting with us, so he actually wants to swing this bat. So Jeff today had sent him out a couple, maybe one or two. I think we're going to start swinging it next week when it comes in, because they actually got shipped out of Short Porch today, because that big shipment came in on your stuff today. But we got Clem ordered 2 of them, 25.5 ounces, that he's going to start swinging these in the next few tournaments that he's going to, and then taking them to Vegas. So these are going to be his gamer from now on. Clem's. It's going to be Clem's gamer from now on. Derek, I think, weren't you swinging on Vest? I think you were swinging
Yeah,
one, hitting.
now. Yep,
Yeah,
that's his game.
he was swinging that soda pop, and I'm like, oh my God, there's no way I would put you into Brewtown like in a heartbeat, because he's a big guy. And he has a hell of a swing. Pure swing. Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. And I said, man, you need to grab. There you go, Murray. Murray just replied. But I said I'd put you in the Brewtown in a heartbeat, and I think he ordered one, and he's getting one in. He had one swinging the other day and put it on. There you go, Derek. He put it on video, but for those higher bat speed guys, I would even, David, I would even say not really high. I would say medium high. And I've got a medium bat speed, and I don't know if y'all saw the video. You saw the video. I was getting very good performance on this bat when it was broke in. The one thing we are getting on this bat too is longevity. Like it. A lot of people thought because the barrel was so, they thought the barrel was so hard because of this for the high bat speed. Jeff does something here, and I think I actually contribute to Leslie because she does all the mixtures and stuff. They do something here to make that bat with a little bit stiffer barrel break in as fast. So we were getting performance 70, 75 swings into this bat with our bat speed, right? Because every bat speed's different. And we were getting it down to 190, which is that good threshold for Murray and Clem. They like that 190 compression test. And then I jumped in there at the end, and I jumped in there at the end. It was just smoking it with this bat. This 17, I think 17.2 is a little bit half an ounce, might have 3/4 of an ounce, 3/10 of an ounce. Actually, a little bit too heavy for me. I'm more of a 16.8, 16.9 kind of guy. So I can, after about 20 swings, I can feel the difference because I'm lagging a little bit, right? Especially with that hand being 8.6. So I wanted to go down to, I think Jeff sending me a 25.5. So I can swing that one too. And I cannot wait to get whatever, Clem.
You'll love it.
Yes. And, but the technology, and here's the deal too, and I know you'll agree with me, is, you know, after this one, they're going to do, they're putting out bats that they're not satisfied with this, right? In other words, it's a great bat, but then again, they're going to go off this one. They're going to take it and they're going to tweak it a little bit for the next run, you know, or the next run. They're not going to be satisfied. They're always looking for better ways, which I don't know how much better you can get, but they're always looking for better ways to improve things. Maybe adding a little bit more Kevlar next year in a lot of their bats too. They don't, the one thing I will say about Short Porch, they don't care about cost. They care about people. And if it takes them a little bit more to actually produce a bat, they're going to produce a bat that's good for everybody, or, you know, with that bat speed.
Oh, I agree. I mean, I'm going to tell you, I love the bat. I don't think you have to have crazy bat speed for it to work. The only difference will be if you're somebody that's, say, in the mid to upper 70s, the bat will just take a little bit longer to break in. So the bat's just going to be here. It's going to last even a little longer than normal, and you're going to get your 400, 500, 600 swings out of them. I'm averaging that myself with no problem.
See, that's what, whenever, like we talked about, my bat speed's in 75, 80 mile an hour. I'll tell you that right now. And I got performance on it. So,
I know. I've seen you hit.
Yeah. So I loved it. I fell in love with it. I like it. I think it's one of the best bats out there with Short Porch, in my opinion. And I actually talked about it before, because I actually swung this bat before I went over to Short Porch, and I was like, this bat's good. And even Clem, and like, these guys were, I guess what had happened was these guys were going out and buying the bat from like Headbanger, and they're going buying the bat from Pro, because they wanted like 4 of them in their bag, because they knew they were going to go. They knew they were going to go fast, right? So what my guys do, the Clem and the Trays do, they start on the phone and they'll call Todd and go, hey, Todd, you got any Brewtowns there? Send me a couple of them. And they'll get them. Clem especially, Clem's ate up with this bat. So he wants like 5 of them in his bag just to have them, because he's one of those bat whores where he cannot be without a bat. And if he doesn't, you know, just in case somebody steals his bag, he's got backup or whatever, you know. So that's the good thing about it.
I like the fact every time I talk to him, he goes, how's our bat doing?
He's trying to get you to get off of it so he can put his name on it. He said, hey, we can talk him out of it. We can talk him out of that bat. I said, nah, I don't think you can talk him out of that bat.
Hey, just another one. That's all right. I'm easy to get along with. He builds next.
Yeah, he loves you. He loves the bat, and that's all he talks about. I got to cut it out. He talks about you so much, and I'm like, Clem, you got to cut it, man. Cut it out the bat. We're doing this bat now. Let's talk about this bat, you know, because we're starting on the Kevlar. So, and that's another thing too. And the things going forward with Short Porch is just so much. It's so exciting at my level because I get to test the stuff. I get to actually do R&D on a lot of this stuff that's coming out, and I think the future is going to be really good, with a lot of people out there that are in with the movement that we're going to do, and
Oh,
uh,
absolutely. I agree.
I'm excited. I mean, I'm really excited about how where we're going. You know what I mean?
Well, I
When's your
tell you
next? Go ahead.
something you touched on earlier, and I never really answered it. You said something about a workout regimen. I tell you something for our age. The thing that kind of gave me my entire from my back down, gave me my whole life back, was getting on a bicycle at the gym and riding. Riding a bicycle opened my calves, my quads, my hamstrings, and I don't have to get on the heavy weights as much to take a chance of hurting something. And I utilize the bike a lot. Now I do a lot of cable workout, like with anybody else. I don't do so much free weights anymore, but I do a lot of cables. But I love riding a bike, son. It has done wonders for me. It gave me my energy back. I mean, I predominantly been playing third base ever since I come back. Now I've been able to move over to play middle when we're running a 5-man. I've now the last 2 or 3 tournaments I've played it short. And now I'm starting to get a lot of range at those positions, at
Yeah.
the short position. So just to let people know that along with eating right, I don't drink any Cokes. I don't drink anything carbonation. It's either water or I do like the zero Powerades or something like that. I know that's still not the best, but it's
Yeah.
the better alternative.
Yeah.
So you cut a lot of the things out in your life that drag you down, and then you start doing something like a bicycle regiment along with some weights in the gym. Dude, you'll be surprised how much of your life you get back.
See, it doesn't have to be heavyweight. It could be, you're talking about a bike. Basically, get blood flow to the legs and to the back because you are working that back part. You do any kind of stretching or anything like that?
Now you're gonna get me in trouble. I stay with everybody around me, and no, I don't. I do very little. I get in trouble with my lady, with Brandon Murray. He stays on me. So I'll be honest with you. I need to do more, and that will be something going into next year that I'm going to have to add, whether I like it or
See, and
not.
I hate it. I just started doing it 2 weeks ago. For the
Oh,
first time in my life, I started stretching 2 weeks ago. In 2 weeks, it has made a difference because I don't work with heavy weight. I work with less weight with explosive movement. So I do everything fast. So, and it's like 12 reps, I tell 12 sets with 3 reps. So basically when I do the stretching, it actually helps me out quite a bit, but I never in my life have I ever stretched, but I am doing it this year,
oh,
the last 2 to 3 weeks, and it has helped. It has
I've
helped.
got to add it in.
Yes, got to. Um, Anything else? I think I kind of covered everything here. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, the bat itself speaks for itself. I was in Loudon with Mitchell's, and I had people coming up to me left and right. What is this bat? And I would show them and explain to them. And one guy asked me, says, "Man, do you really like that bat?" I said, "I hope so. My name's on it." I said, "Yes." I said, "It, buddy. It's the best bat I've ever been handed and put in my hands." And to be honest with you, Jeff and Leslie will never know how thankful I am. Johnny for introducing me. I have to always give him credit, and he has done good things for me, with Jeff and Leslie, and then Jeff and Leslie believing in me enough to help represent them, their company, their products, and everything. And I'll be honest with you, I'm living a dream.
Tell you what, brother, I've heard the rumors that I've heard in the past, before I came along with Short Porch, is how good of a guy you are, how great of a guy you are. Good on the field and good off the field, and I think we need more of you out there. You know what I mean? More people out there that will talk to everybody. And I've actually vetted you actually too, which everybody that I've talked to loved you and thought you were a great ambassador for senior softball that are out there, because you're exactly a class act.
Dang, I love it. I can't get enough of it. Everybody's got their niche. Mine's softball.
Yeah.
Found it at a young age, and to say, when you honestly say it's escape of reality, you hit the nail on the head earlier when you say a bad week at work, the way the world's going today, finances, family, kid problems. I can't imagine, you know, for everything that's going on in this world, that I get to go for 2 to 3 days periodically, walk on a ball field and forget 100% of life, and then come back home and I'm refreshed mentally. I'm a little broke down physically,
Yeah.
but mentally I'm ready to tackle the world again. And then it takes me a good 7 to 10 days to get back into the flow of things, and then you just start getting ready for the next one then.
Well, you get back for the grind, and you know that you're showing up on Monday or Tuesday, depending on what time you fly in, and now you got to get back to work, but you're still refreshed, and you, like you said, not physically but mentally, you go like, oh, okay, I can do this. This is something that I love doing. I think the worst thing a lot of seniors can do is retire, and I think if you're not moving, you're dying. You know. Uh, and I think that is that's how come I talk about health and nutrition, workouts, anything seniors can do to get their ass up off the couch. Like you talked about riding a bike, got me inspired. Like I was at the store today and there was a bike there that my wife has. I'm going to grab it tomorrow. I'm going to bring it home. Because little things like that I never thought about, because I haven't been on a bike. I'm doing on a machine where I can walk for hours, but 30 minutes, not hours. But I've never been on a bike. That's my wife's bike. So now, because I
See,
have my lower back.
they can hurt your hips. They can
Yes.
do things. Bicycle, you're in a relaxed position. You can set the tempo. Like I do a lot of mountain, up and down
Mhm.
mountains, and so it allows me to use the muscles, but then allows them to relax, and then right back into it you go again. And you know, I've did the treadmill, I've did the light jog, I've did the brisk walk. And you're talking about ankles, you're talking everything, that if you're not in great shape, you could be harming yourself on the treadmill.
Because of the load bearing on your knees and on your hips. And,
So
yeah.
yes,
And
100%.
it's not that way whenever you're on a bike. So I got bad back. I mean, I've been trying to stay away from them cutting on me for 15 years now. And I just need to do something. Like I do a lot of core workout, but that's about it. But I'm going to get on that bike. I'm going to get that bike tomorrow. I'm going to do exactly what you said and see if that works, which I'm pretty sure it will. But I'm gonna see if that works tomorrow. But I could not wait to get on here and talk to you because of what I've heard and everything good. Nobody's ever had anything bad to say about David Ireland. And you have a great bat, and that bat is launched today. And not launched, excuse me. We have another run of those
Yeah.
bats coming in.
Yep.
Yes. And I think they sent a lot of them out. Everybody, they're at Short Porch, the warehouse too. People can go by there and pick them up. And then I think they do. Phantom Sports is going to get some too in. But this is what I want to do with a lot of the guys out there that I've seen a few of them chiming in here, is whenever they have bats coming out, is get together and talk to you, because I like I told Jeff today when I was talking to him, I have a pretty big platform from Senior Softball Bat Reviews, and we've got a lot of people watching tonight, and basically know who you are, because I know who you are. I've heard about who you are. So basically know who David Ireland is, so they're just not buying a bat with a signature on it and nobody knows who you are. So basically, I think this is going to be great going forward, with not only the transparency that Short Porch is going to do with a lot of people out there, where they're going to know about the signature player guys, and if they ever need any help, to walk up to them either at a tent, at a short porch tent or a Phantom Sports tent, and to sit down and talk to you, or pick your brain about what to do. And, how did you do it? You know what I mean?
Oh, I agree. I agree 100%. And I have no problems speaking to anybody.
Well, thanks,
Because you
brother.
got to, no matter where you are in your life, other than the elites that were there, they just were lucky enough and born blessed enough to be able to go right to the top. Everybody's been at that lower level somewhere in their life,
100.
but their heart
Yeah.
escalated them into better, better
Yeah.
ball.
And I always talked about it as those were naturals. There is such thing as a natural and a guy that had to put in the work to
Absolutely.
actually had to do it. Buddy of mine played, Jason LaRue, catcher for the Cincinnati Reds, and then I think he went to St. Louis. He was a guy that had to work at what he backed up Molina for a long time. Well, his brother was a natural, Sean LaRue, and his brother was so much better than him, but he didn't have to touch a weight. He didn't have to get out there. He can just sit up there and hit baseballs a mile. And he was a left-hander, could switch hit too, came out to be a third baseman. But Jason is the one who had to put in the work. So I know the difference. Where I was that guy where I wasn't gifted as an athlete. I had to work to get out there, and my hands got calluses all over them. But that's another. A lot of people out there freaking what's his name's chiming in here. I need to quit reading that stuff because he's Ed Starcher. Yeah, he's one of my brothers out there. But yeah, I agree 100%. People got to get out there. And here's another thing too, David, is a lot of those AA and AAA guys. The thing that I've learned in the last 3 years, what I didn't get anybody talking to me about in that major plus level, maybe one or two, but the majority of people that talk to me with that AA and AAA, and I like where Short Porch is going, where they're not catering to the major plus guys. They're catering to, because there's a lot more of the guys that want to get there. And maybe if we can do something to help them get there, I think that'd be a great asset to senior softball.
Yeah, no, last year, I'll tell you a short story to that statement you just said. Last year, me and Brandon Murray we were walking out. I think our tournament was over. We were walking out, and I want to say it might have even been a AA team had just won. And me and Brandon was down the sidewalk a little ways, and we heard somebody call our names. And we turned around, and they said something to us, and it was almost like they didn't anticipate that we would stop and give them the time of day, which was mortifying to me. And me and Brandon talked about it afterwards. No, we turned right around, come back, met the guys. There was like three of them, met them. They had just won their AA portion, and I want to say it was AA. And we congratulated them, gave them high fives and everything. I mean, I don't care. I don't care if you're Sunday Fun Day League or you're playing your highest level. Winning is still, it's magical. It cures everything. You know that.
Yeah, it's great.
The looks on their faces that we gave them the time of day, and I'm like, dude, you're no different than me. I'm happy that you won. And even if you didn't, did you take second, third? You're here this late in the weekend. You had to have placed high in the tournament. If there was 25, 30 teams and you're in the top five, you killed
Yeah,
it.
definitely.
Some winning isn't everything when there's 100 teams and you can finish in the top. That's massive. You
Definitely.
have to how to, take things and put them in perspective.
See, and a lot of those AA, AAA guys will go out of their way to come and watch you play. They'll come and watch, because those are the guys that are in the stands that I see that'll sit there and they'll watch you play because they want a game. But although they're a little hesitant on talking to you, but once you stop and you're on their level and you talk to them like they're on your level. David, I've seen so many guys that don't do that, and I think it's a shame. Yeah, and I think it's a shame, because they want to get you. You were there at one time. I know I was there at one time where I could not hit a ball to the infield. And I wanted to get better. And the only way I got better was to pick the brains of guys that were up there that were better than me, you know. And for you to do that, I think that's what they all want. I mean, and I've talked to them. That's what they all want. But the people that watch Senior Softball Bat Reviews were those guys. So they would come back and tell me, hey, this guy's like not these other guys. And they would tell me the little stories about the major plus guys and the guys that would not talk to them. And they're like, man, you know, and when I seen that all you guys were on Short Porch, and I'm like, okay, I've already followed them and I know what they do. I like these guys. These guys are awesome. It was actually, all the pieces had to fit, you know, nope. To actually me come over, and the people that were already here, I was like, I got to join this. I got to be a part of those guys because they have the same drive that I do. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. And I'll say this: thanks for coming on board.
I think I'm glad to be here. A lot of people, you know, this is the deal too. Hey, you know, I'm humbled about being asked, and I'm excited for the first time in a long time. I'm excited about what we're going to do and what we're going to do going forward here on out. So that's the biggest thing. I'm like a kid in a candy store, man. I want to pick everybody's brain. I want to talk to a lot of people. I want to do a lot of social media things. Like when we're in Vegas, you get a lot of the guys up there that'll come by and just sit there and just sit down and talk. That's what David, that's what a lot of people like doing videos, like putting videos out. A lot of the AAA guys, you know, the lower class guys that are playing in that AA and AAA, they want to see that. They want to see you because then you're going to create a fan base and people are going to like you and like the way you talk and spread that knowledge. You know what I mean? So I'm glad to be a part of this. And whenever I was like so humbled, like, oh man, this is, and almost like I'm embarrassed when people congratulate me on what I because I know I'm honored to be here for one. And I told Jeff the other day, I want to just come in and just guns a-blazing. Like I want to go do so much stuff, man. Social media stuff, constantly putting videos out, getting the word out, talking to people. And the only way to do that is through social media and talking to people, because when I was growing up, we didn't have none of this. We didn't have none of the social media stuff. So yeah,
Yep.
that's what I want to do going forward. And hopefully I will do it with all of you guys being a part of that. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
absolutely. I know Brandon will be happy to help. Roberto, Mania, they'll be happy to help, and any of the other guys as we move forward. I know those two have bats coming out soon too,
Yes.
so they'll be happy to help. Awesome individuals, just like me. Just love the game, love people in the game, and just love being around the game.
See, I talked to Jeff about this too. The two things I want to talk about before we get off here. I want to set up where I can go in and hit with all you guys. You know what I
Yes,
mean? So we can have a little thing going up. Jeff can pick it out on where we're going to go. Either Savannah, Georgia at the hit tracks. Everybody meet there, do a ton of video for the next couple of 3 days, or even go to Florida, you know, and some tournament and get out there and do it. I don't know if you're going to be there or not, but I know that we're going to have demo day up in Vegas on the 16th, and I don't know if you're going to be there or not. It's on the 16th of September. But yeah, that would be a great, if you can make it, that would be fine. But if not, yeah.
I'll find out on the 15th.
Yeah, so he wanted your flying on Sunday. He wanted to do it on Monday, but do something like that. And I kind of threw something out there. I want to get everybody involved in is maybe doing hit clinics next year. And I don't know if that has been brought up to you, but getting a lot of guys together and then doing a couple of hitting clinics a year going forward till next year, and getting a lot of people involved where we're showing off bats and we're actually talking to people and spreading knowledge in a lot of these, because I think with a lot of you guys out there that has their names on the bats, that's a ton of knowledge right there that a lot of people want to. Yes.
Just let it.
All right, brother.
Yes.
It's been great talking to you, and your bat is out today. We're going to be hitting it next week, and as soon as they come in, I think he said something about overnight me one of these or two of these. That way we can start doing video on them next week. But I've got a lot of video out there. I think I got another one coming out in the next couple of days on this bat. But you have a great bat here, and I wish you nothing but success with it too, which you're already there. So and everybody that I know loves this bat.
Yes. and it's a good bat. All the people that I know that are hitting it regular, they all love it. It's a hard barrel, stiff handle, and it's hot. It's hot. It's true hotter than hell. It is that, and it
Yeah.
doesn't take to get there, and it does
Yes, it
last.
does. That's the one thing. But if you notice, that's a lot of thing too, is short porch bats, all of them last. And I'm not talking about 1,000, 1,500 swings. That the days of those are over and gone, but they last a long time. And it being so hot because, even that wig popper, that red wig popper from back in the day, I thought that bat was going to crack fast, and it did not, because it was hot right out of the wrapper. It got really hot, right out of the wrapper on that red wig popper. And I'm sitting there going, okay, this is when I was new, when we just first grabbed it. And I go, okay, it's not going to last, because I've done this for years, and it lasted. And every bat we've grabbed from Short Porch, the durability is through the roof.
I
They
was
got
going
the
to
best durable and hot bats.
wasn't it? Didn't you
Yeah.
knock all the pads off that one?
Yes. And it would have striations all into it.
Yeah.
It got down. I think I had over 1,000 swings on it. I actually said this. And I actually was leaving the ballpark in Arlington, Texas. And I actually gave it to an older guy, 70 years old. And I just handed it to him. He's like, and I go, just swing it. That's all. Just swing it. And a reply later on and let me know about it. And about 3 weeks later, he said, that bat is freaking amazing. But his bat speed, it got that down that low on that red wood popper, that his bat speed can handle that. It can handle that. It can handle that flex in that barrel. But the durability of the performance, you ain't going to beat us. You ain't going to even beat us. And what's coming forward is going to be amazing.
We're only going to get better.
Definitely.
Best of all of this. We're growing.
I can sit here and talk to today. Even the balls, like these balls that we have right now, are just they're just, you can't beat the balls, man. I'm telling you right now.
Leagues are begging the association, let us hit short porch balls.
Yes.
To the point that they get so tired of it, they let them, and then it's an influx of buying balls for several weeks till everybody gets enough to make it through their leagues. And we're starting to see that everywhere.
Yes. I had 2 people in the last 2 days that are leagues throughout the United States and San Antonio that said, hey, we want to hit your ball next year. What can you do? I said, hey, we'll handle that. Don't worry about it.
Absolutely.
We'll be able to handle it. There are other things in the works right now that we don't want to talk too much about because we don't know yet. But we've sent out a few cases of balls to these organizations out there that we just say, hey, we're not going to give you a big, a big presentation, and then we're not going to code it. Here, just hit them. Send them a case of balls, and here, just hit them. Let us know. Set them out in the sun, and then come back and hit them. Yeah. Let us know what you think about it. Hit them on the ground. Hit them where the balls they have now are getting that dark color on them, that gray. So these ain't going to do that. Our balls are not going to do that. So just go out there and hit them and let us know what you think. But you like them, you don't, then that's okay. We don't have a problem with that. But that's how much confidence.
Come down yet?
No.
I've went to it, allowed them. I've not seen anyone turn them down yet.
No, because here's the deal. They're not going to be the hottest ball out there. They're not going to be a rock, but the rocks weren't supposed to be there anyway. But they're not going to be that rock. But they're good. They're good all the way around. The rock would get a little softer in high temperatures. This ball doesn't do that. So it's got that steady 44-375 compression. So just let you guys out there know that this ball is not a dangerous ball for seniors. It's actually hot. It holds its compression in hot 100-degree weather, and it stays there the whole time. I mean, it's and durability on the ball. We're still hitting them. We've had them for a couple of years, and we're still hitting them with us.
Oh yeah, so they're hands down. They're definitely one of the top 2 or 3 best balls made in the market right now. I know there's other good balls out there, and I won't never deny that. But we're right there with them, 100% of the way.
Definitely, I agree 100% with that one. That's great. So let's keep in touch, especially in Vegas. I want to get with you and whoever's up there, and I'll come if you guys want to meet somewhere. I'll come meet you if you can't make it to the tent, because I know we'll be at Big League Dreams in that tent, because that's usually where it is.
Yeah, I think that's what y'all will be. We'll figure something out. We'll figure a way to get around there.
Well, as we get closer and everybody gets settled in down there, because I'll be down there about a week before you will. So I'll be down there, and we can just stay in contact, and I'll stay in contact with everybody, and we'll hook up.
That sounds good.
Thank you, David.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me, and welcome to the family.
Thank you, sir.
All right. You take care now.
All right, buddy. You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
I love that guy. And here's the reason why. The integrity, what I've heard about this guy. And what I hear, I kind of take it with a grain of salt. And I've heard from a lot of people how good of a guy he was, and about a good guy he is. And I've heard from a lot of people, but I talked to him about 2 hours ago, and basically just to pick his brain. And I was impressed. I was like, wow, this guy is everything that they talked about him being. Great gentleman, loves the game, and that's what I like. I like those guys that love the game and wants to help people, and that's what we're here to do with Short Porches, and he is part of Short Porch. He's a great fit, and I'm seeing that now with a lot of these guys. Um, him just wanting to help. The little stories he talks about, them guys that knew them yelled at him, and he stopped and turned around and talked to them. Guys, I'm not going to pick anybody out, but I've witnessed guys out there that just don't do that, and I thought it was a shame, because those guys buy bats too, matter of fact, they're your biggest guys that actually buy bats. For them to do that, and then the little stories that I heard about what he does, it's amazing. I like the guy. I could sit down and have some drinks with that guy. Not that I drink, but I can sit there and have some drinks with that guy. Somebody tell me what time it is, Mister. Somebody up there. Just how far am I into this? How far can I go into this? Because I've got like 3 pages to talk about. Let me tell you, I'm going to listen, kind of go off a little bit here too. I want to talk about a little bit about, it was 105 degrees, 8-4. Wow. I've just got a couple things to talk. It's late. I've been on it for an hour and 15, hour and 10 minutes. And I'm going to get off here, but that just leaves me more for next week too. I've got 4 pages here I can talk about. Basically, what I'm going to talk about getting off here is all you gentlemen out there over the age of 40 need to get on Pygium. It's this right here. It's called Pygium. Is that straight or is that backwards? If you guys can see that. I hope it's not backwards, and I hope I fixed that. But it's called Pygium for men, not for women, but for men, it's Pygium. It's good for the prostate. Everybody over the age of 40 needs to get on that stuff. And basically, it's good for urinary tract. It's good for a lot of things. It's good for, it is backwards, sure. Anyway, Pygium is the name of it. You guys need to know. You can text me or message me, and I'll tell you the exact name to it, but it's Pygium. Everybody over the age of 40 should be on this stuff. It's good for the bladder. It's good for the kidneys. It's good for the urinary tract. It actually is good for prostate health. It's probably some of the best stuff out there, and some of the cheapest stuff out there for it too. So the few things that I want to clarify with David, and we talk about this too, is we're not doctors. We're not going to sit here and tell you to get on this, or you got to get on this. What I want you to do is, and Dave, we talked about this earlier, is what I want you to do is talk to a doctor, and just don't stay with one. If he doesn't tell you basically what you've heard or what you think is right, and do research on it. Go to YouTube. There's a ton of research out there on testosterone replacement therapy on YouTube, and see what actually, because you got to get your quality of life back, because as over the age of 40, your testosterone starts to diminish, and your quality of life goes to the shitter. I mean, you can't do anything. You have no drive to get up and even get on a bike like he was talking about, and just get your hormone levels at the optimal, up there where you can sustain. I'm not talking about ungodly numbers, guys. That's another thing too. Please, drain your blood every 3 months when you get on this stuff too. And if you have sleep apnea, drain your blood every 3 months. Do the research on it. What we're going to do here is just send you fingers out where you know, where you can just think about things differently. Basically what we do here with Short Porch, think about things, think about things differently on different ways to actually better your performance with the bats, the balls, you know, or your health, basically. I'm done, guys. Hydration, it's 105 today, 107 today here in San Antonio. It's going to be hot it's in August, so it's going to be hot, guys. Hydration. We're going to hit tomorrow, and I'm just sucking down water tonight. I actually, I drank a liquid IV earlier. I drink one in the morning. I'll hit in the morning, but I was drinking last night because I knew that yes, I'm actually going to do that for my back. Dennis, I'll let you know how it works. I'm going to go pick it up actually tomorrow. And then hydration, guys, you got to stay hydrated because lose 40% of your strength when you're dehydrated. So make sure you're taking, like in the mornings when we hit, I'm taking a bucket of water and ice it down a little bit, and the guys can actually drink out of it. But it saves our butt, man, because when you're dehydrated, you're trying to hit, when you're out there and you're trying to hit, and it just, you're like spent. You're like, I don't have any strength or anything like that. So stay hydrated, especially when you're in these tournaments. And if you guys are in the outfield, run around. If you run a bases, you got to stay hydrated more. You got to keep shoveling that stuff down, even though you might not want to. Another thing too, if you're thirsty and you're at a tournament, you're already dehydrated. So you need to start just shoveling and trying to get it in you. Try to take, I'm not talking about Gatorade too. He was talking about Gatorade Zero, which doesn't have sugar in it. It's got artificial sweetener, but if you have to do it, you got to do it. You know, your even your liquid IV has artificial sweetener when you go to that diet part of that liquid IV. If you got to, you got to, but kind of stay away from the sugars, especially that many sugars that are in that Gatorade or that Powerade. Guys, next week I'm going to try to have another guest on. We have a bunch of bats being launched next week. I'd say launched, that are going to go out, like David Ireland's bat, that the Brew that's going to be out. Guys, we love this bat. This bat is amazing. And more toward that medium fast bat speed guys out there, go out and get you one. You will not be disappointed. We're going to be hitting our Facebook Live when it comes in on next week too. And let you guys just watch it. All these Facebook Live videos are going to be doing going forward are going to be mainly for new bats that are coming out, research and development. It's all going to be, it's all going to be, it's all going to be transparent. I'm not going to get into much of weight distributions until the final product is actually done with that black Kevlar bat, because that has changed. It's not the same. So a lot of you guys asked me what were the weight distribution numbers on them, and I didn't put them out there because that has changed. It's going to be different from here on out. And it might change again, don't know. But that bat is supposed to be, the Kevlar bat is supposed to be out. They're shooting for November, guys, and they were shooting for January of next year. But that so much success, and you heard me in the video, that bat had so much success, and it was already dialed in because Jeff had already dialed it in on what he thought it would be and how the performance was, and it actually did it. Like he dialed it in great. And then he actually is dialing it again, and we're going to get some within about 3 weeks is what he said today. 2 to 3 weeks, we're going to get some black ones in again, and we're going to hit those on Facebook Live and on video. And we'll let you guys know because it's going to be different. It's been honed a little bit. It's been tuned a little bit. So definitely. And guys, I don't bullshit too much about bats, and that is going to be, I'm excited about that bat because it's new tech that is coming out. Nobody's ever had this. Yeah, that's another thing too. I've swung everybody out. Nobody's ever had this kind of tech that they're going to have out there and going forward too, because these new bats that are coming out in the next couple of 3 weeks are going to have different stuff on them too, that, you know, not necessarily Kevlar, but just different kind of different kind of tweaks that are being done to them. The one thing I like about what Short Porch is doing, what we are doing, is they're not settling. They're not repainting. Not one short porch that I've ever swung, even when I was doing the reviews, have I felt like a repainted bat. And that's damn good. I like that because they're finding out little ways to tweak things or hone things, or where they're going to tune it. And I think that's don't know yet, Austin. He was asking, are we going to do a U-trip one? Don't know yet. We just started. This is something that's new. This is new tech. So what he wanted to do, what Jeff wanted to do, is introduce it into the senior market first, and that's what he's doing right now. And if everything goes good in this next run, they will be out. He's telling me they were going to try to get them out by November, so Christmas time. And there's a big tournament in November. I think he was talking about having one for. And listen to this, Vegas. He's actually, this is what I like, man, about these guys is he's actually talking to the plant about having a few of them in Vegas. That way you can look at them. We're going to do that. We're going to do that bat thing we had talked about, those bat demos, just at Big League Dreams on the 16th, and hopefully he'll have one by that time. I cannot wait because I'm just telling you, man. I cannot believe whenever I took this job that we would be at where we're at right now, talking about bat sales, because they are going like hotcakes, guys. They are going really good. Even the U-trip bats are being sold out really fast as they can get them in. I've got the milkshake. Wow, here it is, guys. I got this bat in today. This is a balanced bat. This is the milkshake. You can see I just got it in the mail about 5:30, and it's that 2-piece milkshake bat. It's a 13-inch barrel 2-piece bat. It's a balanced bat, guys. We're going to hit this tomorrow morning. I'm actually going to, when I get done here, I'm going to go out there and do weight distribution numbers on them. This is what bat we're going to hit tomorrow. That's a 26-ounce milkshake. This is another one we're going to hit tomorrow. The reason I got a salty dog, because the one that they gave Clem is a little bit too heavy for me. So I ordered a 25-ounce, and I'm going to do weight distribution on these two whenever I go back out there to the garage. It's a 12-inch barrel, another U-trip bat. And then this one was sent to Clem. This is the Cell Block Hangman. And if any of you guys, they were talking to me about this on the phone earlier today. This is a 2-piece. It's got a flexi 12-inch barrel 2-piece, got a flexi handle on it. This was 28-ounce. They want Clem to swing this bat for a long time. And guys, the numbers they're getting on the hit track on this bat are very good. Very good. I think a lot of people actually gave up on this bat because it does have a flexi handle on it. But we're going to hit this one tomorrow too. Clem is going to hit it and grab it, and we're going to hit this for the next couple of 3 weeks. What my plan on doing, guys, is a lot of these bats that you see that I'm getting in. And I talked to Jeff about this earlier, and I'm done after this. Y'all guys can get off. But what I want to do is I want these bats to be well broke in when I go to Vegas. So all these bats are going to come with me to Vegas. So when we do that we're going to do that demo day out in Vegas. Y'all guys are going to grab out there. You're going to pick up bats that have been broke in. That's how come I'm talking. When I talk about bats that have to be broke in, there is a tremendous difference in a bat that just pulled out of the wrapper and a bat that has 400 swings on it. There is a tremendous difference. A lot of guys don't know that. A lot of guys don't understand that. I see a lot of these guys just pulling out of the wrapper and getting out there and swinging it. On you 100-mile-an-hour guys, you can do whatever you want to. You're still going to get great performance. But you guys that with my bat speed, it's just so hard. I usually let my guys break my bats in for me. I'll be hitting a wig popper tomorrow because that's what I'm hitting up in the red wig popper. That's what I'm hitting up in Denver whenever I go there. That's what I'm going to hit in Vegas when I go there. If my bat comes in later, when I walk into Vegas, I need to have something I've been hitting with for at least a month. So hopefully my bat gets here in time where I'll be walking right into Vegas and swinging my bat. But you guys don't understand, man. Don't judge bat just because you take it and you pull it out of the wrapper and you start hitting with it. And it's because that flex in that handle's got to break in. That flex has got to break in the handle, believe it or not, right? But if you got this tape all the way up to here, you're not going to get flex in this area. So I pull that tape all the way down to here, right where the hands, right up above your hands, and make sure you got your tape. Take all of this off, because that's a flex point, guys. That's a flex point. When you put this on there, you're actually taking away the flex in the handle. That's a proven. That's been proven through me. If you go back and look at all my videos, that's a proven. I've proven that with bat, that a 27 ounce flex too much and a 26 ounce. It was on another bat manufacturer I'm not going to talk about. But that 27 would flex too much for me. I grabbed the 26 and it didn't flex. So what I did was I taped up the handle on the 27 and didn't get any flex out of it. So that's how come I'm telling you guys, if you know, if you got a bat, you know, and you got to get it up to right here and take all this off. That way the handle can help you flex. Breaking the bat in, I usually give it to my guys. I usually give it to, I said this for years, you've got to swing a bat to get it game ready. Every bat that I've swung took a little bit to get it there. It could take 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 swings, depending on what bat it is. So yes, depending on what your bat speed is too, guys. Depending on what your bat speed. The guy with that high bat speed, get there faster than that guy with that my bat speed, right? So that's how come I give my bats to my guys. When you see my bat come in, I'm throwing it to Clem, I'm throwing it to Trey. Hit it. Hit as much as you can. Make sure you baby it, but hit it as much as you can. And then you take it out to perform. What I want to make sure is the bats that we have in Vegas that you guys can hit with on the field, big league dreams, when we're up there on the 16th at noon. They're going to be well-broken bats, and you're going to see the true performance of that bat, because with short porch, they get to that level and they stay there for such a long time and they don't lose compression. So I want to get it there, right, where it's at that compression level, not at 200, 225. I'm going to get it there at that compression level when we go into Vegas, and I'm going to let you guys swing those bats, and you're going to see a big effing difference. Thanks, guys.